to Brandix Reviews. This one I'm going to be reviewing part 4 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe tie-in graphic novel series. Now, the first 3 parts, if you've seen them at brandixreviews.com, I'll just kind of explain very quickly what it is so that I'm not repeating what I said in previous videos. But obviously the graphic novels, these graphic novels tie in with the films. So unlike other comics where the films are just adaptations of comics that have come before, these comics are set in the same universe and the same continuity as the films. So there's quite a few of them anyway. Generally speaking, you'll get one graphic novel that ties in with a certain film. So the first one, which I reviewed first, was the one that tied in with Iron Man 1, and they just say based on the hit movie kind of thing. Part 2 tied in with Iron Man 2, again similar layout. It was called Public Identity. The third one tied in with Captain America, the First Avenger, and it was called First Vengeance, again based on the hit movie kind of thing. From this point on, they kind of changed the format slightly in terms of the actual cover. They established this seal that says Marvel Cinematic Universe Official Tie-In. You'll see that in the end credits of all these videos that I do, and they put this kind of at the bottom of each one from now on. And they also usually preface the name with Prelude as well. So Avengers Prelude, Black Widow Strikes in this case. So this one ties in with the Avengers, or Avengers Assemble as it's known in the UK, the film that came out in 2012. And this one follows the Black Widow. Now, there are others that I'll be reviewing after this. There's another Avengers one called Fury's Big Week, again Prelude. One after that, Iron Man 3 Prelude. Then there's Thor the Dark World Prelude. I've got a lot of bookmarks in that one that have just fallen out. And one that's just come out this week, Captain America the Winter Soldier Prelude. So that obviously ties in with the film that's just been released. They do tend to be released around about the same time that the films are released at the cinema. So anyway, I'll just kind of sort it out there. So this one, like I say, is based on Avengers Assemble, and it introduces, well, it doesn't introduce, it continues the story of the Black Widow. And it comes in 3 parts. It's all obviously self-contained in this graphic novel, but it was issued originally in 3 issues. And this one is set between Iron Man 2 and Avengers Assemble. So I believe it's set in 2012 as well. It's set just before Avengers Assemble, pretty much. So yeah, this is what you get. It kind of starts off with, like, you know, a bit of a blurb about that it's set when it's set kind of thing. Right, so basically the story of this is Black Widow is working in Russia. She's working in a strip bar, and she's on she's trying to get to the bottom of this plot to smuggle some stolen Stark tech. Stark tech being Tony Stark and his technology. Iron Man. So she's her lead that she's got is this guy, this bigwig. So she's working in a strip bar for like VIPs, basically Russian gangsters, and she's about to stick a needle in this guy and interrogate him outside, kind of thing. And he gets shot by a sniper, an unknown sniper, kind of takes him out, and she gets framed with the murder because the person that did it was a woman. The person that was the sniper shouted out, you know, Black Widow done it, kind of thing, and points at her. So there's a bit of a gunfight anyway. Black Widow escapes, and kind of goes on for a bit. Usual kind of action. She goes to the roof anyway, and she gets on the radio to Agent Phil Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D., who you've seen established in the films. He got killed in Avengers Assemble. He's also in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, if you watch that. So she escapes to the roof anyway, and Coulson tells her to look in this part on the roof where there's a package for her, and it's like a jetpack. So she escapes on the jetpack pretty quick anyway. So she's talking to Agent Coulson still anyway. You can kind of see in the background behind Coulson there's like a computer screen. It's got a lot of like the Avengers characters like Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. It doesn't really explain what that is, just general computer screens there for decoration, I guess. She goes back to her apartment anyway and starts to get changed. Why they didn't have Scarlett Johansson doing this in the film in that kind of detail is anyone's guess, really. We don't want to see it in a comic, you know. We want to see Scarlett Johansson dressed like that, Jesus. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, she's getting changed. A lot of Russian security guys break into her apartment, and she gets into a bit of a fight with them. Not a lot of dialogue here, just kind of action. You can get through these pages pretty quick. Again, you can see there, not much dialogue. She holds one of them, kind of dangles him over the edge of this balcony, and he basically says that the person that was sent to, the person that sent them to kill her told them that if she beat them, and if any of them was left alive, that person would have to give her this SIM card. So she takes the SIM card, and off that she then rings up the person that sent these assassins to kill her, and it's the female that was in the strip bar, the one that kind of framed her at the beginning of the story. And she introduces herself as Sophia, and she says that she's idolised the Black Widow, and wants to basically be, well, literally wants to be the Black Widow. She wants to take her identity. She wants to have a bit of competitivity with her, or however you put it. But she wants to engage her in this mission anyway, and beat her, and then take her identity after she's killed her. So Black Widow goes along with it, and it goes on for a bit anyway. So the next issue, part 2. So Black Widow goes kind of has a bit of a flashback to some of her previous missions. Not really terribly important. So she goes to this next place, and it's in Sochi, where I've gone a bit ahead of myself there. No, it is. It's in Sochi. So she is at the place where the Winter Olympics 2014 are going to be held. Obviously, this was 2012, so the Olympic stadiums were still being built. So she goes there anyway, and she goes to this ice hockey rink that is being built. And she meets this Sophia, and Sophia introduces herself, but then kind of double crosses her and blows up part of this ice hockey rink, and Black Widow falls through the ice into some icy water. So this Sophia kind of leaves her there for dead anyway, but Agent Coulson drags her out of the water and saves her life pretty much. But this Sophia anyway gave away a bit of a clue. She said that she was going to go onto this yacht and go to the next kind of stage of the whole story anyway. So that's where Black Widow goes next anyway. She goes on board this yacht to kind of track this person down and kind of get further into where this Stark Tech smuggling gang is operating from. So she goes there, and then she meets this guy that she recognises as an undercover SHIELD agent. She kind of chats to him for a little bit. Then she sets off this smoke bomb to create a diversion so she can kind of get past some of the security guys. So she does that, and then she goes down at the lower levels of the yacht, and she meets this guy here. And he's basically there to do this deal. They're kind of keeping him under security, but she's obviously got through that security. He thinks she's some kind of like prostitute, and he starts to talk to her, and he tells her that he's got this flash drive. So she, and the flash drive belonged to Justin Hammer. That was the bad guy, well, one of the bad guys out of Iron Man 2. I'm going to assume you know who that is. And that he's currently being indicted because of the events of Iron Man 2. So she steals his flash drive anyway, but when she gets to the onto the upper deck of the yacht, this Sophia person has got the SHIELD agent, the undercover SHIELD agent, at gunpoint. She shoots him in the head. She steals the flash drive, but just before she stole it, Black Widow put like a tracker on it. So Black Widow tracks this flash drive to Vladivostok in Russia, and there's like a big industrial area. So this is part 3 now, the last part. So she sneaks away in anyway, you can see there, and as she's getting there, Phil Coulson's basically figured out what's going on, and figured out what was on the flash drive, because she kind of downloaded some of it, and he's kind of realise what it is. And what was on the flash drive was bootlegged targeting software for the Jericho missile. The Jericho missile was the missile in Iron Man, the original Iron Man, that the Ten Rings wanted. And the Ten Rings are behind this, basically. They have the missiles, but they don't have the targeting software, so they have obtained this bootlegged version of the targeting software, which is made by Justin Hammer. So it's pretty bad news, basically. So Black Widow then kind of gets engaged in a bit of a gunfight, and it goes on. She realises exactly what the plot is. The Ten Rings from Iron Man 1, they are going to set off these Jericho missiles, aim them at Korea just to begin with, because they have this big plan to destabilise everything, basically. So she goes to this missile launch site, and she's a bit too late to stop the missiles getting fired, but she can sabotage it anyway to a certain degree. So she crashes this train into the place. Again, a bit of a gunfight goes on, and just before the missile's about to be launched, she comes across this Sophia character, and Sophia basically tells her who she is. Back when Sophia was about 14, she'd been taken by this child sex slavery organisation, and Black Widow kind of bust in and killed everybody, and obviously Sophia escaped. So you would think she would be grateful for that, but no, she left quite an impression on Sophia, who now wants to be the Black Widow because she was so inspired by what she saw. So that's who she is anyway. But not only does she idolise the Black Widow, she wants to kind of go one further and kill the Black Widow so she can be the next Black Widow. So there's a bit of a fight anyway, and just as this Sophia is about to shoot the Black Widow, the missiles get fired off, and the Black Widow's kind of reset the targeting system so that the missiles will kind of go up and then come straight back down instead of going to the original destination. They just kind of come back down and blow up the launch pad, along with all the other Jericho missiles. So she saved the day, basically. And that's kind of how it ends anyway. In the explosion, this Sophia gets killed, but Black Widow survives it. And she kind of has a bit of regret because she says that a few years ago she was in Sophia's position, and maybe she could have saved her. And then Nick Fury's there, and he says, well, some people just aren't worth saving. And Black Widow says, well, to be fair, a few years ago you would have said the same about me because I was where she was, kind of thing, in her position. And that's pretty much it. It ends on that. So pretty good anyway, pretty good story. I liked it, I enjoyed it. It didn't take long to read. It's not a huge graphic novel. It's only, like I say, in three parts. So what, about 60 pages, something like that. So it took about half an hour to read. The rest of the book, anyway, it includes the original appearance of the Black Widow from, I think it was, from memory, it was 1965. I could be wrong, but yeah, this was the first appearance alongside Iron Man and the Crimson Dynamo when she was originally a villain. So it's not a very long issue. I think it's like a dozen pages or something like that. But that's an old story. That obviously isn't set in continuity with any of the films. It was made long ago. And the rest of the book just has a lot of artwork and stuff. Is it just me, or does she look quite a bit like the Jean Grey character from the X-Men films? Just in her face, she looks a bit like Famke Janssen, the actress, more than she does Scarlett Johansson. But yeah, like I said, there's a load of artwork, a load of kind of early concept artwork as well, if you're interested in that kind of thing. One thing that this doesn't have that the others do, or the ones that I've read so far, they don't have what's called the spotlight feature, which is interviews with the artists, the people that worked on the story for these. So they're usually fairly interesting to read, but this doesn't have that anyway. So that's it anyway for that. The next issue, well, the next video, I'm going to be reviewing the other Avengers tie-in graphic novel, which is called Fury's Big Week. So it's all about Nick Fury. So if you want to check that out, like I say, we'll be reviewing all the others as well that I haven't covered so far. And if you want to check those out, it's brandxreviews.com. And we will see you for the next review. Thank you very much for watching.